Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tooth and Claw. This episode is going to be William Ravelowe, Requiem of William Ravelowe, Prophecy and Sacrifice. This is the fourth episode for William Ravelowe. Brief recap. William found out that his sire has completely screwed with his memories and he doesn't know what's real and what's not. And he's trying to find someone called the Keeper who can supposedly help him sort out what's fake and then figure out what's actually real.
Mm-hmm.
Try to remember what's actually real. And someone in the Ordo group in London, Thaddeus, said that he has information on the Keeper, but in order for him to give it to William had to do him a favor and go to Poland and recover some lost notes of the Ordo that were lost during World War II when a bunch of Ordo evacuated during the Nazi occupation. So he is in Poland now. He found, well, he got sort of found. He didn't really meet Dr. Frank yet, but he met one of Dr. Frank's associates,
Fair.
agents. He's now in Quadzco Valley, and he's awaiting instructions or awaiting anything from Dr. Frank um, that will help him find what he is looking for.
Now Did you say I'm in the valley or I'm?
Well, you're in
I'm
Quadzco.
okay. I was gonna say I think I'm in the city.
Yeah, you're in Quadzco, the city Quadzco.
All right, cool. Now last thing I remember was that we were out jamming at the Polish clubs with a rather
Oh, that's right.
motley
Yeah. So
collection of vampiric youth.
that's right. So when you got to Poland, you didn't meet the prince, which she actually likes to be called Madam President. She doesn't like the term prince.
Yeah, Poland is thus far super
Car-
Carthian,
Super Carthian.
for better and for worse.
Yeah. But I mean, she'll respond to Anka, but she prefers to be called Madam President. So you met with her and talked to her a little bit, and then she told you how to get in touch with Dr. Frank. That you needed to find a bolt, like a screw bolt, not a lightning bolt, and that it would be it would be like somewhere in the market square, and you'd be able to tell that it was what you're looking for because it would look different to
Mhm.
vampire eyes. And so while you were walking around trying to find it, you did find it, and then you left a message. And after you left the message, you were approached by a group of four kindred who called themselves the Zagubieni,
Mhm.
which is roughly translated to the Lost Ones.
Right. Which is in no
Um,
way emo or tragic or whatever.
hey,
But
you know what?
I'm not making fun of you. That fits perfectly. But
I was going more for like Peter Pan's Lost Boys, but fine.
and the movie The Lost Boys, does it have a certain amount to it?
Fair. So they took you to a nightclub.
You know goddamn well I'm a fan.
They took you to the nightclub, and then while you were there, one of them told you that, hey, you might want to go check on that letter you left. And then you were told to go to a church that was like across a river and then
Mm.
across the river. Um, and while you were there, another associate of Dr. Frank's, at least that's what you think, an associate, left a note for you to go to uh I forgot what it was called. It's
It was like a little
Pua
B&B.
Puak I'm so bad at these pronunciations. Puak Kaminich. It's a hotel in Quadzco.
All right. And if I
Yeah.
recall correctly, it was like a B&B out in the middle of nowhere plus.
From when I looked it up, it is B&B ish, but I don't really think it's considered a B&B.
Right.
It's I think it's more of a hotel.
Right.
But it's kind of, yeah, it's not like in city, but it's not exactly farm country either because there are other buildings around it. So I guess suburb.
Yeah. The Vermont would be proud.
Yeah. Um it's a cute little hotel. And that's
Yes.
where you met her other associate who had you sign that contract that, Dr. Frank will help, like, will give you the information she has on where the notes may be. Um, and that should you get into any sorts of trouble, like, depending on the, magnitude of the trouble you're in, she'll step in and help you. Or I'm sorry, Dr. Frank will step in and help you, not the associate. Dr. Frank will. And, um, or Dr. Frank will send someone to help you.
Right.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah,
supposedly
and
to
and then in exchange, when you find the notes, she wants to see them,
right,
or
not
Dr. Frank
keep
wants
them.
to see them, not keep them. Dr. Frank just wants to see them.
And we're waiting here to get the location, or we can go back to the city and then we will, like, they know where we're at. We
Uh,
just stayed
you
here for the
were
sake of the sun.
right. You stayed there because the sun was coming up,
Right.
so high noon.
I knew.
um, s- uh, but
Inside joke, by the way, for anybody out there who's seen Kindred the Embraced, that's what's up.
um, I can't remember if they told you to stay at the hotel or if you're supposed. I think they, because they said that they would be in touch.
Hmm.
So it would probably, mm, I mean, you can do what you want, but I feel like that was implied, stay at the hotel.
I'm okay. I'm willing to stay here.
Okay.
It's adorable. It's really good we fed before we left because this place does not have a we can sustain vampires population.
Yeah. Uh, so, oh, right. So then you and Juliet kind of shoved Nux and Rose together.
I wouldn't go that far.
And and now you and Juliet were sharing a bed. So we'll
Yeah,
say, I think you said you slept through the night, right? Or the day.
the day, uh, you know, as as one is wont to do. Yes.
So we'll say it's the next night.
All right. So pop up fresh as a daisy.
Mhm.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we didn't burn to a crisp. So this place must be light
No,
proof
because
in a quality way.
yeah, it was. I mean, you saw when you came in, there were like these really heavy curtains to try to keep the light out. And then
All
like the beds you had were equipped with curtain.
right. Four poster beds, the roomy coffin, the velvet
Yes.
coffin. All right.
So when you wake up, the table, like the little table that had two chairs that was by the windows, there is a cooler on the table for with a note that just says enjoy.
Hmm. Now, if I recall correctly, Kindred Vitae loses its mystical properties after a very short time of being taken out of the body, right?
I can't remember.
If I recall correctly, and it might be mixed up between first and second edition, and boy, what a great edition change. But the Vitae just becomes jumbled up blood after a brief stint being outside of a vampire, so it's no longer good for forming blood bonds, right?
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure vampires can drink from a blood pack and get the same kind of like nutrients.
More or less. But
Um,
Not in first
Oh,
edition, but
well,
yeah,
no,
like the old bonding ability goes away after a few minutes.
uh, I guess. I honestly don't know, and I don't know if I wanna take the time right now to look it up.
I just want to make sure that if
But
we
I'm just
enjoy, we're not like, Dr.
mm.
Frank, that's a quality person. We should totally do whatever they say all the time. Why am I talking like this?
Okay, so that's not gonna happen.
Okey pokey. So crack it open, blood packs.
Yes, blood packs. 4 of them.
Woo! Spring
Oh god.
break. All right. Yeah, I guess everybody dig in. So, is it enough to get a blood point?
Only 1.
I don't ask anymore. Oop,
But I
topped off.
oh, Rose needs to top off. Yes, okay. All right. So, after Nux drinks his, he sits down on the table, puts his feet up, and lights a cigarette.
He sits down on the table and puts his feet up
No,
because I am
he sits.
totally picturing like
No, sits down by the table. Did I say on the table? I thought I
I
said
think
by the
so.
table. Oh, I meant I meant by the table. And then he puts his feet up on the table, like
Very
leaning
flash
back.
dance.
Yeah, with his no, not Nux. He sits by the table and then puts his feet up on it, leans back and lights his cigarette, his morning smoke.
Evening, whichever.
Well, it's morning for you guys.
It's a vampire's morning.
Yep.
That's the official designation of evenings now. 4 a.m. somewhere. So,
So, what's the plan, boss?
well, we're supposed to stay put, right?
I mean, they never outright said it, but
One day I'm gonna be an elder, and then I'm gonna call the shots. And
and I'll
I'll
still be
tell.
older than you.
I am fine with that. The only way I'll get older than you is if you die first.
Well, I don't have any plans
To die or just
to die.
okay, then we're great. All right. Well, I guess there's nothing to do but go scout around. I mean, is the implication we stay here or we've done what we need to do and we can go back to Klotsko?
Still in Quadzco.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of that.
You're still in Quadzco.
I'm sorry. We can go back to the city proper.
You mean
We're outside the city.
well, you're in the city of Quadzco.
Can we go back to our hotel?
You mean Vorklaw?
Yeah. Or do we need to chill
Well,
here?
no, you should probably stay here.
Okay. In that case, I am going to go scout around.
All right. So,
There's no sense of I need to be alone, but if anybody joins me, great. If they don't, whatever. Um, I'm gonna step outside and I will activate my vitalized senses with a point of ectoplasm.
Juliet goes with you. Nux and Rose stay behind.
Mm. All right, so pop on some sunglasses as my eyes get all filmed up in black ectoplasmic residue. Are there any ghosts around here?
So, you're like outside, or did you go like downstairs into like the lobby, like dine? There's like a dining room area and like
I'm
a
my ultimate plan
sitting
is
area.
to go outside and like look around with my ecto vision
Like
but if
outside.
yes, but
Okay.
if if I see something interesting before then, I will stop.
Oh, okay. So when you do go downstairs, you notice in like the sitting-ish area, there are four young people, like college age kids, sitting around talking.
Do I understand them? I don't speak
Yeah, they're
Polish.
speaking English. They're American.
Hmm.
One has like obviously fake blonde hair, fake tan, brown eyes with like she looks like she's playing adventurer. She's got like the cute cargo pants with like boots that are like meant to be combat boots, but they've got the heel, like a real heel. So they're not, I mean, they're not, it's not, what's the word I'm looking for?
Practical?
Practical. Yes, not
So
practical.
it's like a combination of Thomas Hayden Church and George in the Jungle and any given rich girl from a horror movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Uh,
see it so clearly.
and, uh, I mean, obnoxiously bright pink nails. And she
Who
talks
does
like
that?
this. Sitting next to her, like so she's sitting in like a chair, an armchair, and then on the arm of the chair is this big muscular dude who's got like the tank top, the like thick strap tank top. It's like uh faded like blue, and then he's got cargo shorts on and some gym shoes. His hair is brown and like spiked up with like frosted tips.
When does this game take place?
I
2000 what now?
2005.
Yeah, okay, I believe it.
Yeah, didn't they do that back then?
Totes,
Or was
or at
that
least some people
90s?
still were.
Or was that
Uh,
more
it
90s?
was more 90s, but early 2000. I mean, let's face it, some parts of
Well,
the
if
80s look
these
like the 70s and some parts of the 90s look like the 80s. You're
and if
fine.
these kids are college students, they grew up in the 90s, so.
Mm, mm.
Then sitting on a couch like across, so there's like a couch, like a coffee table, and then two arm chairs and a little table. So sitting across from them on the couch is another gentleman who's got like glasses and a three-piece suit and like dark hair that's kind of like slicked to the side. He's looking at a book and taking notes, and sitting next to him is a girl with like really long black hair with some like if it catches the light right, there's like some blue that you can see in her hair, and she's wearing tight black jeans, tight black tank top, and she's got actual like practical boots on, and she's sitting there, she's also reading a book.
I look at Juliet and say, so I'm going to assume there's a very groovy van outside and a Great Dane somewhere around here.
Is
What?
that a pop culture reference?
It's Scooby Doo.
I'm not familiar.
We're we're just gonna have to marathon everything at some point. Okay then. What? I I mean, I've got acute senses. Can I overhear what they're talking about?
So the jock is sitting there talking about his frosted tip boy. He's sitting there talking about this awesome football game that he had in his senior year of high school. Um the the fake hair, fake tan woman is just sitting there like
The
playing with
princess.
her, yeah, playing with her hair, chewing gum obnoxiously, rolling her eyes at almost everything he says. And then the three-piece suit guy pushes up his glasses and just looks at him and says, Can you please stop talking? I feel like I'm losing brain cells with every word you utter.
Anthony Michael Hall. And I'm guessing Ali Sheedy doesn't say anything.
No. If you look, she's got the book kind of like up like this, so you can kind of see the front cover. You can't really like you catch the word like craft, so you're assuming it says witchcraft.
Does it have like the binding and like the frilly curly Q designs and stuff that generally indicate like pop culture witchcraft?
No, it is actually like a old looking leather bound book.
Okay. All right.
And the font that's used for the witchcraft looks sort of like outdated.
You have my attention.
Juliet slings her arm like in between yours and says, "Well, should we make some new friends then?"
Well, yeah, hell with it. We don't have anything better to do yet. Make our way over. Resisting the urge to say, "How's it hanging, Breakfast Club?"
Oh, jeez.
All right, so, yeah, as we approach, just pull out a seat for her, not far away, but also not like just joining their conversation uninvited.
So there's like the little sitting area, but then behind them there are like um it's like dining room table chairs like by other tables, so like you could sit down behind them if you wanted to.
I may do that. Do
Okay.
do do do. Give her a seat, and as we're sitting, sort of glance up and make a small thing of like looking at Goth Girl's witchcraft book. Can I identify what book it is from what I can see with
Well,
say
so
wits plus occult?
you two are like kind of like opposite ends of the room. And since she's got it like up like this, like she's got it like up, like you can't see anything because it's like this.
I know, but sometimes you can identify a book from the outside.
Okay, well we can roll for it.
Yeah.
What's your wits plus occult?
Wits is 4, occult is 4. I get 9 again.
Okay. You have seen, so you don't know exactly what book, but I mean, you've been around Rose for a little while. You were around her when she was human and I mean, she was serious about witchcraft.
And I
She
was a
also, and
paranormal investigator before
yes,
I
and
was embraced,
yeah,
so
you were, but she comes from Salem stock, Rose does. So you notice that the way that the word, like the font of the words is it, it looks like font that you've seen on the books that Rose has from her family. And you can tell that the way that the book is bound, that it is probably books that came across the ocean from like England. So they're old books.
um hmm.
I mean, across the to America, like because Rose had books. Obviously, not across the ocean to Poland because that, you know what I'm saying.
It is old
It's old book.
and full of many bad memories. Be
Yeah.
warned. Okay. Um God, I really want to like pull a
Um,
Vladislav and just be like, see me.
so you notice though that, I mean, the jock is still prattling on, and the three-piece suit kid is just getting so irritated that he's like almost like he's writing so hard that you think he's just gonna like go through the paper at this point. And fake hair girl, she's sitting there chewing her gum and she's staring directly at you.
I will look right back at her.
So like you don't look like you're from around here.
The feeling's mutual.
Well, duh.
Uh,
When you start talking, the jock kid stops talking and like stands up and like looks at you, trying to be all peacocky manly.
I simply smile and then look over to Goth Girl.
She's looking up like from her book.
Do you mind if I ask who wrote that one?
I'm not actually sure. The name wore away a long time ago.
May I? I won't steal it.
She closes the book so you won't know what page she was on, walks over and hands it to you.
Open it up. Flip through. Very respectful. William's a bibliophile.
So it's written in Old English. There's like certain like remedies for different kinds of ailments and diseases. Uh, but and it like it is typed in the front, but then when you start getting more towards the back, it's like handwritten and some of it is faded.
I'm going to use Spirit's Touch to reveal any secrets or interesting factoids about its history.
I
So that
roll.
is my wits plus occult plus auspex for 11 total.
Jesus Christ.
I still don't have a 5 in anything, but I got a few 4s.
Didn't like you that time. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a magic book.
Wow. Can I say intelligence plus academics for maybe dating it?
Okay.
So that's 8 with 9 again.
So you would date this to like 1500s.
I'd need more time with it, but this is exquisite.
Family heirloom.
I've got a friend you should talk to. It's at least 500 years old. Family heirloom.
Yes.
Family with a lot of history of the occult.
If you believe in that sort of thing.
I do. I make my living on it. Hand the book back to her very respectfully.
She takes it and like holds it like this. So are you into the occult?
Oh, very deeply. Very deeply.
So like do you have seances and stuff like that? The girl that's standing in front of you with the book just like
Yes, when the situation calls for it.
you fly on a broomstick.
Well, that depends, miss. Have you ever lubricated a marital aid with hallucinogens?
No, like witches fly on broomsticks.
Well, historically, it was more likely that they were going to put a bunch of, how do I put this in a way that you'll understand? They'd rub drugs on a broomstick and then rub up on the broomstick. And it felt like they were flying, aka getting high.
Oh, no.
Ew, yes.
We don't do that.
So you're a witch?
No.
Then why would
I'm
you do it?
rich. I was asking
That
if you did because you're in the occult.
you said we don't do that. I assumed that presupposes you do something other than be rich.
You've completely lost me. She turns and starts talking to the jock guy. You didn't even notice this, but Juliet, she is sitting next to you. But you can also see her faintly on the other side of the room, standing and looking at the notes that the young man is writing.
Is she projecting some kind of illusion or
Mm, I mean, oh, and there's Kevin's usual dropout, so he'll be back in a moment.
my regularly scheduled Discord hiccup?
Yeah, I was just saying, there's your regularly drop off from the call. Um, how familiar is William with like the different disciplines?
I mean, he's pretty familiar with what's possible under normal circumstances. He might be surprised at what some devotions can do, and he would be surprised by what some bloodlines can do with their more esoteric discipline.
Okay, well, because I know William so far has never seen a kindred do this before. But
Probably not, but then again,
okay,
he
well,
did work as like a sub sheriff for a few years, so he'd probably have
no, I
heard
know.
of what's possible in general.
This isn't really it didn't really come up in the other game. But
Okay.
well, let's roll your intelligence plus occult.
That will be 8 with 9 again.
This looks like astral projection to you.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So
Totally gonna learn that.
as soon though as you as the ditzy blonde turns back to start talking to the jock though, she fades away and then you see her like go next to you.
I don't give the game away. I turn back to Witch Girl. All respect, you have something very special and potentially real there.
I know.
What are you doing with this merry little band?
This is gonna sound so dumb, but have you ever heard of a legend of this train that went missing during World War II? Supposedly had a lot of gold and jewels and like treasure to be found.
Like,
They call it the Nazi gold train.
is that the one that allegedly disappeared? Supposedly was absolutely full of the stolen riches of the Third Reich.
Yep, that's the one.
Yes, then I have heard of it.
Well, Maxwell over there. She nods towards the kid making notes. Thinks that he may have come across where it could possibly be. We're in college and we're studying archaeology.
Hmm.
I'm in archaeology more for the mystic findings. He's in it more for what you would call the normal stuff.
The cash or the credit?
Credit.
Can appreciate that. Point in fact, I know somebody who would absolutely be into that if it was Roman.
But We, I think that even though it's widely believed that the Nazis were against the occult, I think that they actually weren't. And there might be some of their occult research on that train, if it exists.
I don't think that sounds silly. I think that sounds exciting.
Mm.
I'm a parapsychologist myself, so, the idea of mixing in a little archaeology with that is thrilling. Plus, yours has the potential to have a treasure hunt at the end.
Yeah, I'm just more interested what's on the train.
Well, sure. But let's be fair. Wouldn't be awful to find the potential finder's fee. That being said, archaeology's got a really tricky thing depending on the local governments. And World War II, the actual ownership of what is found and the dissemination thereof means that your profits are potentially very small. Potentially, depending on your initial cash outlay. Plus, you'd
Yep.
have to navigate all of the government tariffs, the idea of who owns what, depending on what, and the fact that it was all stolen property by virtue of the Reich locking people up and stripping a lot of innocent people of their goods. Jeez. Boy, oh boy.
I mean, there's still a lot of lost treasure that's never been recovered. If this train exists, it could be on there.
Yeah. I guess the real question is who gets it if you find it. If you find it. I mean, we've both heard of it, so you can bet a lot of professional treasure hunters have been looking for this for a while.
Well, yeah, but I don't think they've been looking for it the way I plan on looking for it.
You're going to use some kind of occult connection to try and trace it down, right?
I've been working on a theory of a lost and found spell.
Doesn't that
It's
require
kind of
you
hard because I need to know exactly what was on that train.
doesn't that require that you once have had it to have lost it?
Theoretically, yes, but that's where the working on it comes from. Trying to find something that has been completely lost that you know exists even though you've never seen it.
Have you talked to any survivors of the Holocaust who might have lost a great deal of stuff that might be there? It's possible you could try to work some kind of material link into that for a greater degree of success, sort of cast it by proxy.
Well, we've been here for a while, interviewing people, asking questions, but for the most part, people think this train doesn't exist. I mean, so many people have tried to find it. The Owl Mountains aren't that big. I mean, they are, but considering how many years it's been,
Well, yeah, but the train wasn't necessarily in the Owl Mountains, was it?
supposedly it was. Have you ever heard of the Rice Project? Rice?
Off the top of my head.
It was a project that the Nazis were supposedly working on to make underground tunnels to make it really easy to escape or to hide.
Huh.
And there are a lot of tunnels underneath the Owl Mountains. And the theory goes that the train left from. Hold on, give me a minute. That the train is between Vorkla and. Oh gosh. Waubrich. Sorry, I'm like butchering these
It's
Polish town
okay.
names.
It's okay.
Um, and that it left Vorkla and it didn't actually reach its destination. But it's said that it was meant to go through the tunnels of the race project.
Well, there would have been time to build it. I mean, Poland was early in the Blitzkrieg and all that, so they probably would have had the time, to say nothing of all the manpower they had from the people they'd locked in the ghettos early on.
The only thing is, there was never any maps or anything really found directly talking about these tunnels,
True.
which is why a lot of people think it was just a myth, some Nazi propaganda.
I mean, you do get a lot of theories that rumors of treasures were spread around for the sake of sending people on a wild goose chase, but still, the lack of supporting documentation is kind of tough. I mean, have you ever followed the after effects of the Nuremberg trials?
Honestly, no.
One of the spookiest things about the Nazis was that they documented every awful thing they did. They were very bureaucratically efficient about the awful things that were going on. Trying them was simple because they basically left a paper trail.
But there were a lot of documents that were lost or destroyed,
That's true, especially in the
specifically
last
about
hours
their
of the war.
research. Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Plus, you've got all the rumors of a bunch of them escaping to South America or something, and who knows what they took with them.
Or the rumors that Hitler never really died.
Well, I mean, anything's possible, but we are entering the realm of brains in jars, and they keep the Russians keep his head in a jar next to, Rasputin's. But well, I mean, who am I to judge? I've seen some weird shit. Could be true.
Well, there's
So
a rumor in the occult community that I am a part of that there was a lot of actual experiments on, specifically here in Poland. This is going to sound so crazy.
try.
Werewolves. Just then you get a buzz on your phone. It's a text message from Artemis. And she said,
Werewolves? No.
she says, oh shoot, sorry, I just knocked stuff all over the place here. She says, "Hey, William, a long time no talk. Hope you're doing well in London or wherever it is that you are now. Um, as you know, I'm in Seattle and I've made some contact with the Ordo here, and I feel like I may have accidentally said a little too much. They don't know your name, but watch your back. Okay, bye."
Oh, for fuck's sake. What have you done? Sorry about that. So, werewolf.
Yeah, supposedly Poland was crawling with them. I've never actually seen one. Not sure they exist.
I'm going to lean on William's specialization under occult for superstition, which is less about like actual stuff than understanding who had what beliefs in a general region. It's vague, but it's also like, oh, they believed this kind of stuff. It doesn't actually tell me anything about what those things really are. Um,
So
so,
what is it that you want to know?
oh, I don't want to know anything. I'm using that to justify what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think Poland was better known for its vampire mythology than its werewolves.
It is,
So,
but the
and
theory is because the werewolves kept their secret.
I mean,
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
one would think vampires would be the ones keeping secrets.
I mean, if you look at the movies, yeah, sure.
Well, I'm looking at it from a political standpoint. Consider that there is an extant vampire hunting school in Romania to this day. I don't seem to recall any werewolf hunting schools outside of a Craigslist ad one time.
Maybe the werewolves are just better at keeping their secret.
Well, you would think with the full moon turning them into ravening beasts, that wouldn't be as simple, but hey, you could be right.
Supposedly, that's not true.
What is true then?
That they can turn at will.
Okay. And what? I mean, are we talking about people who get all Lon Chaney hairy or turn into actual wolves, or what do you think is true?
I don't know if I actually believe it's true. I haven't actually seen one.
Well, if you had, a Nazi gold train would be the least of your the least of your problems, let alone discoveries.
That's true.
So, speaking of, and forgive me if I ask, you're all college students. Where do you study?
Oh, um, we all, well, we kind of took a break for a little while to do this little exploration. It's sort of like a weird, um, can't think of the word. It's like a, it's like a, okay, this is out of game. What is it called when you go like to do a specific project, like a, not a thesis, but
Well, it's not a sabbatical.
it's not a sabbatical, but like you go and, well, you know what I'm talking. So they're like they propose this project to the school, and like they're gonna get credit for it because these two are archaeology students. Work study.
Work study. Thank you, Erica.
Yes, thank you, Erica.
You teach us our craft yet again.
Okay, so what's your perception again?
Oh, beep boop. Um, wits plus composure plus blood potency with 8 again. It is 8 with 8 again. And if I get an exceptional, I have obsession.
Okay, not exceptional, but you
For better
do,
and for worse.
yeah, you do notice that because she's holding like the book like this, and you do notice that there's like a small tattoo, like right here. It's a triangle with like a little flame in the middle. What's your memory? Unless you know what it means.
Well, I mean, even if I did, maybe William doesn't. Memory is 7. Till I get that mind like a consuming worm or whatever it's called.
Oh wow. Okay, you did really good on that. You know what that symbol is. You've seen it before in New Orleans. Your friend Callie almost joined this group called the Maiden's Blood Sisterhood.
Aren't they like a vampire hunting sorority? Super.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Um when my eyes see that, that's not a flame, it's a drop of blood.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a flame.
It does look a lot like a flame.
Okay, so then drop
Um
of blood.
so I'm gonna when I see that, I'm gonna steer right into it and be like, oh, you're a Pi Alpha Kappa?
How do you know?
Um Well, one, I was a student at the University of Chicago for mythological studies, but I did my master's thesis at Tulane in New Orleans. They have they have a house there.
Oh,
Yeah. And As you might imagine, given my choice of academic focus, there was an awful lot they were able to share about that.
I see.
Yeah. My focus is more in ghosts, though. So, if you don't mind my asking, I'm sorry, which school did you say you guys were from?
Princeton.
Nice. That is impressive. So, what's your friend over there think he's got that's going to lead him to this train?
Sure. He won't share it with me. He's really tight-lipped about his theory.
I mean, I guess I get it, but how are you going to work as a team without that information?
I mean, I'm here for the more otherworld type things. Brittany is here for the money, and Todd is here for the muscle.
Oh, no shit. She's actually named Brittany.
Yes, I know.
Holy crap.
A walking cliche.
I'm sorry. I just realized that you and I haven't actually traded names yet. I'm William.
Uh, Eva Nora.
Eva, Nora. All as one, or is that two names?
All one word. Eva Nora.
That is impressive.
Just then you see coming down the stairs, Nux and Rose, and they're both actually laughing. But you've seen Nux laugh before because he's a jokester, but Rose does not laugh very often.
Oh, the rest of my motley crew.
Oh, you never said what you're doing here.
Hunting down old Nazi documents.
Really?
I'm absolutely serious. I need a favor from a scholar in London, and his price are some documents that were lost during World War II, and now I've got to get in touch with somebody else in Poland, and they've got a whole thing. And sooner or later, I have to find some particular Nazi documents which allegedly have been lost. So imagine my surprise finding you looking for old Nazi stuff. Fair shot we might run into each other at some point. Then again, the Nazis had a lot of business over here, so, we might end up on opposite ends of a relatively large country.
Maybe. You see Nux and Rose, like, they start to walk in. Nux has his arm around Rose, and she's, like, holding his hand with her hand.
Mhm.
But when she catches, like, sort of a glimpse of who you're talking to, her eyes widen, and she kind of, like, ducks under Nux's shoulder and, like, bolts out the front door.
Oh shit, do they know each other? Oh my god, what if that's like her sister or something?
No, it's not. Rose was an only child.
Oh my gosh, that would have been like, Rose, you're supposed to be dead. I was at your funeral, mom
Pretty
and
much.
dad.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, look, here is my card.
Nux went after Rose. Like, what the hell?
I better go check on her. But look, here's my card, okay?
She turns around and sees Nux walking out. Check on who?
You look, here's my card. On the off chance you do stumble across some Nazi documents or whatever, I'd be more than happy to pay for them. And if I happen to find something about this train, I'd be happy to let you know as well.
Okay. Well, I don't have a card.
Do you have a phone?
Yes.
What's your number?
It's the area code in on the East Coast. She just gives you a phone number.
Beep boop. Even
Seven
or
seven
added to
seven
contacts.
7777.
555 773 202. Boop, boop,
202
boop, boop.
5862.
Empire. All right, so
That's Luna.
I know I'm mixing it up.
Oh.
Can you all tell we're both from Chicago?
Yes.
So, all right.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah, I'm gonna be like, well, it was genuinely a pleasure meeting you and encountering you, and look up and down at the jock. And yeah, Maxwell, good luck.
he looks up like, what the hell? Like, oh, there were people here.
Yes, 3-piece in the field, said the man wearing a waistcoat and a long coat.
uh, Juliet follows you out. Before though, she says, she touches Eva Nora's arm and she says, "Good luck with what you're looking for, and do be careful. You might not find exactly what you thought you were going to find." And she walks out after you.
All right, so outside.
Yeah. Uh, so like across like the front part of the building, you see Rose standing under a tree talking to Nux.
I got them acute senses. What's being said?
Uh, Rose is saying, "I had to get out of there because I know her. We went to high school together, and I'm dead."
As I walk over. Oh, you and Evanora used to study the old Llewellyn text together?
I mean, yeah,
Man, thank goodness I wasn't like, hey, let me go get my assistant Rose.
yeah. That would have been an awkward conversation.
You know she's in the Maiden Blood Sisterhood at Princeton?
That makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't look like it, but she was a total joiner. She wanted to be a cheerleader at one point.
I look at Nux and, I mean, let's face it, the only thing that makes a cheerleader better is being a goth cheerleader. Right? Right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would agree.
right.
I would
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Look
could
at
see
Juliet. When
Juliet is just like,
See, I'd love it if Juliet was like, yep, gotta give it the sploosh. No? Yes?
yeah.
Oh, that's on the slideshow.
It was on the slideshow to teach me about today's society.
That's not okay. Oh yeah, putting that on the slideshow. All right, so
Okay.
all right, enough frisky dingo. Okay. So, how good have you gotten at obfuscation?
I mean, I think I can move without her seeing me.
Okay, might be handy to do that while she's around.
I guess.
I know it's a pain in the ass, but I mean, the alternative is you spend the rest of your time here being super vigilant and dodgy. It's probably less trouble this way.
Fine. Um, Juliet touches your arm and nods towards the hotel. You see coming out the front door the woman that you met the night before, Dr. Frank's assistant.
Hmm. Lawyer looking
She's
lady.
Yeah, she's stepping out and stepping into a car that then pulls away.
Man, they've got timing. Like eerie timing. All right, I will go back inside and see if she left a message at the front, a package at the front desk, or an envelope slipped under our room door.
Okay. Rose says she's just gonna stay outside, and Nux will stay with her. Juliet
Cool.
says she'll go with you.
All right, step back in.
There is no note at the front desk, but when you go up to your room, there is a note that's sitting on that table again. The cooler is gone.
Open the note.
The note says that we hope you enjoyed your chat downstairs. Anything you may have learned for them could be useful. They seem to be pretty close to what they're looking for, but they're missing one crucial part to the puzzle. It's a crucial part you'll need to find what you're looking for. And you'll find this crucial piece of evidence at Quadsko Fortress.
Hand it to Juliet. Field trip.
It's a little wordy, don't you think?
A lot of crucial.
Yes.
Somebody get that woman a thesaurus.
Hmm.
Or whoever wrote it.
She puts the letter back down.
I pocket it. All right. Well, no time like the present. Plenty of night left. Beep boop. How far away are we away from Quadsko?
Well, you're in Quadsko, but you're going to Quadsko Fortress. I don't think it's far.
All right.
Let me. Do you want me to Google it?
Only if you want to.
I'm just gonna say I don't think it's. I mean, I'm sure you could get there tonight and get back.
Super. All right. Call up a cab and off we go.
Do you want to do any research?
Mm-hmm. Always.
Okay. So Quadsko Fortress back in World War II was used as a labor camp. It was used to make missiles mostly. Um, yeah, it was used to make the electric components for U-boats, V1 and V2 missiles. Now it's sort of like a museum, but it also is used as storage for military and wine. It's like a huge brick fortress. There's a lot of underground tunnels.
Mm. I've got a Wikipedia up. This is interesting.
Care to share with your coterie any information you're looking up on Wikipedia?
Um, yes. Once the cab has arrived and we are on our way. I'm sorry, one more time. Where are we?
Quadsko.
Oh, okay. And this is Quadsko Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I mean we're like right there.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
I
We
was
don't
gonna
have
say
to.
it's not
We
very
have to look
far.
up travel time.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not. I know it's not far.
If it's Chicago, it's an hour to get anywhere. So I'm just going to apply that here. Going next door, somehow going to take an hour. North to south side, going to take about an hour. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not very far. It's there where you are. That's why they
okay,
told you to go to that hotel.
sweet. Okay. But yes, as we are in the car ride on the way, I will share with them some of the history of the place. Uh, for the sake of the driver, sounding like a tourist.
Okay.
Do 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 do. Yeah, let's
Are
go
you
Fortress.
browsing for the most interesting?
I mean the names of the cannon, like brought the city to its knees in 1622 were the wingless dragon and the black sow. That's awesome.
Yep.
Let's see. In 1742, during the War of Austrian Succession, the city, together with its stronghold, was conquered by Prussia under Frederick II. The city itself surrendered on January 14th, but the fortress, with 2,000 soldiers, held out until April 25th when starvation made further resistance impossible. Out of the initial Austrian garrison of 2,000, only 200 survived, pale as shadows. The Prussians expanded the fortress, making it a defensive one. Major works continued during the Silesian Wars until 1770. The fortress was not fully completed 200 years after the Austrians began to modernize it. 19th century stronghold of the French army, supported by Bavarian troops, became a prison. Early 19th century, due to economic depression, prisoners in earnings in Glatz were so low that the administration would send a prisoner every Saturday to beg for help in the city. Among prisoners was a British Army captain, Bertrand Stewart, who in 1911 was accused of espionage and released in 1913. During World War II, the stronghold was not only a prisoner of war camp, but a subcamp of the Grossrosen concentration camp. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
1945, the stronghold, together with the city, became part of Poland. Klodzko Fortress looks like it did 200 years ago with little changes and is one of the main tourist attractions of the city. Between May and October, it's open between 9 to 1900 hours and winter 9 from 9 to 1600. From its top, there are views of the Klodzko Valley. It's also possible to visit the cellars with a labyrinth of underground corridors excavated from the 19th century by prisoners of war. The Strongholds complex covers an area of 17 hectares. Its lower walls are 11 meters thick, and its upper walls are around 4 meters. According to some sources, it is the largest and best preserved fortress of its kind in Poland. Hey guys, this is going to be fun.
It's huge.
Great. Now we just have to find an unidentified clue somewhere in one of the largest, most well preserved fortresses in Poland. With a described on Wikipedia labyrinth of underground corridors. Excavated in the 19th century. Super.
Are you saying this out loud to them, or is that out of character?
That's in character.
Oh, okay. Nux he's sitting by a window and he has the window open because he's smoking a cigarette. And he just goes, and that is why we have Juliet here.
Man, I bet there will be ghosts aplenty there.
Probably.
Hey, who here speaks some Polish?
None of you speak Polish.
Does the cab driver?
Yes.
Excuse me. Can you tell me how to say help in Polish?
Wait, hold on. I don't actually know how to say that in Polish. But my Polish book does.
Hang on a second. Wsparcie.
According to this, it's pomocy.
Oh, Google disagrees.
Well.
No, I see it. POMOC.
Pomocy.
Pomoc.
Pomocy.
Thanks very much.
According to the pronunciation here, the pronunciation is Pomotisi, so I would say pomocy.
Learn Polish with Ashley and Kevin. All right, so.
Ta. Okay, so you pull up to the fortress. It is massive. It's huge. Like gray brick, but like the top of some of the building is like got grass growing on it. And
Yeah. Gamers Tavern put some links in the Twitch chat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yes'm. Gee whiz.
So yeah, that picture is just a part of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the cab driver, you have to pay the cab driver. I'm not gonna even try to guess how much, because conversion rate.
I have that money.
Yes, you have the money to pay the cab driver. Because V gave you money, so so you pay him, step out of the cab. When you're getting out of the cab, he goes, a closing soon.
We have a special dispensation.
Okay. Enjoy time there.
Thanks a lot.
And he drives away.
We keeping this song rolling, or do we want to
Oh,
switch it up?
sorry. Yeah, no, sorry.
Not at all.
Forgot about that. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Get it creepy and stuff. All right.
You're going to be searching the underground labyrinth of a fortress that has seen tons and tons of violence.
No, it's a really good
And you're
choice.
looking
And
for lost notes that you don't even know exactly where they might be.
our ongoing salute to Cliff Martinez for basically
Everything.
every song we'll ever need for Chronicles of Darkness,
Okay.
as long as it's not werewolf.
So,
All right. Okay. Approach the front gates. I assume there's some kind of security or something. Are we here after security has?
saying that I
Are the
so I'm
tours
not
still going?
sure. I'm gonna say that they've stopped the tours because it's probably like, I mean, it's probably pretty late. Well, no, it wouldn't be because I think, what did we say? The sun goes down at this time of year at like 4, 5.
Something like.
So it could. I mean, I'm assuming they stay open till at least 7.
According to Wikipedia, between May and October, from 9 a.m. to 1900 hours, which.
Would be 7.
Mhm.
Okay,
So,
so they're probably closing up.
yes.
So you're gonna have to try to find another way in because they probably won't let people in if it's closing up.
Um,
Oh,
dominate.
dominate. All right, go ahead. What, 13, 12?
Let me scroll down a little. It is my best discipline roll. 12.
Am I
So,
re-rolling anything?
well, who am I walking up to? Let me role play this out.
Okay, so you're walking up to a woman dressed in kind of like period clothing at like the ticketing booth.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, thank goodness you speak English. So,
Am I re-rolling anything besides 10s?
I don't think you get to apply rerolls to disciplines.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's I looked it up.
So,
People were like, "You can OP that shit already. Don't don't allow this
okay.
at your table." I was like, "Fine."
All right. So, let's roll hers.
Resolve.
Yeah, I know, but there's no way she'll beat what you rolled. Okay. All
She
right.
could
So
have
you've got
exploding
her.
tens.
She can, but it's doubtful
Okay.
considering you got like 7 successes. Okay.
Shao.
Be in me.
I'm I'm picturing any given movie where they're like hypnotizing and all the people near them are like, it's like, "Oh god, I'm good at this." Uh-oh.
Okay, so she's got you. Juliet is behind you, just touching her hands onto the building.
We have a special dispensation to look around for the Archaeological Preservation Society.
Oh, yes, we've been expecting you.
Of course. Which means we'll need passes.
Yes, we have passes.
Excellent.
He gives you 4 passes.
Wonderful.
For like, you know, special visitor passes or I don't know,
Excellent.
professional visitor passes.
Thank you so much. You're doing a wonderful job. Take excellent care of yourself and be kind to everyone who deserves it. Don't be racist, get plenty of sleep, and drink plenty of water.
Well, enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm still doing my like Men in Black, like,
Um, so Juliet turns around. What we're looking for is in a secret room down and beneath in the labyrinth.
do you know what the thing is?
It's notes, probably. But we're supposed to be looking for a secret room.
All right, then.
The entrance to the secret room is in a bigger room that has a lot of crates and a table, some chairs.
It is a storage facility, so we've got our work cut out for us. But hey, that's got to eliminate something from the overall effect. All right, let's do this. Pin the visitor thing to the jacket or coat, and in we go.
Do you really expect me to ruin my coat with this pin?
I think you've ruined your coat. One, they're alligator clips, and two, you smoke so much that coat's been ruined like 8 times over.
No, you see, the smoke gives it character.
Yeah, but
This is going to leave a mark.
so do the ash burns.
What ash burns?
There, 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 there. Turn around. I bet I could find at least a dozen more. To say nothing of the time that guy hit you with that switchblade. Boom, right there. You didn't even clean out the blood stains.
Character.
Uh huh. Uh
He
huh.
goes ahead and just pins it on his coat and starts walking.
Fucking self-described punk is afraid of putting a pin through his damn coat. Unbelievable. All right. In we go.
Okay. Are you going to lead the way?
Sure.
Okay, so Juliet offers to go last. Cuz the hallways you're going to go through they're narrow. So, we'll say that you walk through, you find an employees only door that leads you down into the labyrinth.
Mm. Can we still
So
hear
under
like can we still hear like the last tours down the halls and stuff?
not underground, no.
But above ground.
But well, I mean, while you're walking around, yes, but when you
Okay.
once you go into the labyrinth below, you don't hear anything.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
the ground down here is like packed earth. Um, the wall, it's like it's arch, like the whole tunnel is an arch. They do have
Flagstone, brick,
it looks like it's stone,
so like gray stone.
like gray stone.
Okay. And the
Um,
ground, you said it's
the
hard
ground
packed
is
earth, so it's not like soil. It's
no,
like
it's not
old
soil.
dust.
It's old dust. It's not concrete either, but like it would take a minute to get a shovel.
Gotcha.
So like dust, it is dusty. It smells musty. There are like the lights they have in like mines, like the string of lights. Those are the kind of lights that are hanging.
Mm. Legit Edison bulbs.
Yeah, it feels very cramped.
Mm. Lawrence Fishburne. This place is a tomb. Now we just have to look out for an insane Sam Neill with no skin. All right. Proceed forward. Let's see if we can find any juncture that has a map or something. I assume there would be a few of them.
So as you proceed down the first hall, you get to like the end and it'll split left and right, and on that wall there's like a map. It's dusty, but it's covered in plastic, so it's sort of preserved.
All right. So I have map on my phone now.
There's a few different rooms that are used for storage down here.
Look back at Juliet. What do you think?
She touches the map, closes her eyes. Go to the left.
All right. To the left we go. Hey, this little premonition of yours, did you see danger?
Not in my premonition. but we should watch our backs.
I'm going to indulge that ectoplasm from before to initiate my ghost sight.
Okay. You do see a ghost standing at, like, further down the hallway, leaning against a wall with his hands in his pocket. He's kind of like playing with the floor.
Hi.
Hello.
You,
He's wearing pants with like a short sleeve button down top. His hair is it looks like it was gelled, but it's got kind of like messed up.
what era would I place this guy?
You would place him in like the oh, like clockwork, like clockwork. He will be back hopefully. There he is.
Last one for this game.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, you would place him, I would say, in like 50s.
All right. You doing okay?
Yeah.
You don't seem surprised that I can see you.
The people down here can see me.
All right. So a lot of people come down here, not a big deal.
Not a lot of people down here, but a lot of the people that do can see me.
Like tourists or
No. It's few and far between. Always looking for something.
well, I'm afraid you can add us to that list. I don't suppose you know where there's old Nazi documents laying around, do you?
I might.
Any chance you might help us out?
I don't know. He folds his arms in front of him.
What can we do for you?
You could get a message to someone.
Shoot.
My daughter, Katerina Luchowski.
Uh-huh.
Tell her that I am sorry I wasn't always there.
Here, do me a favor. Flip to a new page. Go ahead and guide my hand.
For what?
It'll be in your handwriting.
All right. He signs it.
Okay. Do you know where she lives?
Well, she did live here in Quatsko, but I don't know where she is now. I feel like it's probably been a long time, judging by the clothes people wear now.
Yeah, but that's enough to start with. I can figure that out. Yeah, sure, I can take care of that.
Okay.
How about your end?
You're probably looking for that secret room, then, yeah.
You were the right man to talk to.
Follow me. He puts his hands back in his pocket and he walks with his head down. He doesn't even know where, he doesn't even need to like be looking up because he just knows where to go.
He's been here a minute.
A few times he almost goes through a wall, but then remembers that you're following him, so he can't go through the wall.
How do you say shit in Polish?
I don't know. I know how to say asshole in Polish. Dupayash. Okay. So,
Wówno.
he okay. What was that?
Wówno. Wówno.
Pretty much,
But
yeah.
but it's with a G because Polish.
There's also not a lot of vowels in Polish. Lots of consonants. Okay, so God damn it, I keep blowing my little pieces of paper. Okay, so he leads you through the winding maze. Um, Sometimes you have to go back up a level, and then you go back down. He eventually brings you to a small. Well, it's not that small. It's a little rectangular room, very wide, and it has a table with two chairs and a lot of crates all around the side. On the left-hand side, there is one other entrance. Um, well, here you go. Good luck. And he goes through the wall. At that moment, you see across the room. You can't really see the back wall across the room because it's pretty dark there. It
Fight
seems like
music.
a lot of the lights have gone down.
Well, I
And on
mean,
the
we
other
see in the dark,
side,
but
right, but you can't really see through this dark. And coming out of it, you see two sets of glowing blue eyes. And emerging from the dark, it looks like two wolves, white-haired wolves. But there's something weird about them, and they're drooling and snarling at you as they creep out from the darkness.
hand in my bag for the Uzi with the silver rounds. And I'm going to hold out a hand with the other one and say, we don't mean any trouble. And I'm going to use that special ability that I learned in New Orleans, uh, the third eye, so that
Okay.
I can see spirit energy as opposed to ghosts.
You
If
don't
they're
see any.
werewolves, they should have some kind of woo, woo,
They
woo, woo.
should. Yes, if they're werewolves. You don't see it.
Okay. I'm trying really hard not to metagame because we jumped right into fight music, and I'm like, well, obviously I'm gonna shoot them eventually. Okay. We don't want any trouble.
When you say that, the one to your right snarls and growls, but it's like it's an inanimal and inhuman, it's just an unnatural growl. Almost like
Like
raptor-ish. Like
reptile-ish.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
less less wolf, more monster.
exactly.
Glance over at Nux.
He like pushes up his sleeves a little. Well, this is gonna be a party.
We don't have to assume violence. There doesn't have to be violence. There doesn't have to be violence.
Listen to the music. There's gonna be violence.
The hell are you talking about? You don't hear
You
that?
see, it's just me. um, Juliet and Rose. Um,
The
okay, so
fuck?
you see Juliet kind of like grab Rose's arm, like ready to move her around if she needs to be protected. And at that moment, both wolves leap forward. One pounces in front of you and then shifts into what you have seen Artemis turn into, the big bad freaking wolf. But it's not like what she looks like. She looks like a wolf standing on hind legs, just really big and like pounds of
Very
wolf and fur.
underworld lichen
Yeah, underworld
shit.
lichen type of
Yeah.
wolf. This though is a huge hulk of a man, naked, covered in some fuzz. His hands are claw-like, and his face is sort of snout, but it doesn't quite go out all the way. Long white hair with the ears.
Like a mane at this point.
Yeah, he's snarling at you as the other one lands behind you guys and shifts. So let's roll initiative.
Shit. All right.
I've got your initiative written down here.
Super.
I just have to do some math for a minute, so just give me a tick. Because your initiative is 5, right?
I scrolled away from it when you said you had it. Yes, it is 5.
So, as the other one lands behind you, you see, so Juliet goes and kind of like pushes Rose behind her. Nux goes to the one that landed in front of you two. Hey, doggy. And you see Juliet smack him upside the back of the head. Oh!
Reverse backhand.
Yep, pretty much. Like. All right, so you get to go first.
We don't want any trouble. Do you understand me? Shit. The only thing I learned how to say in Polish is help. And I've already forgotten how to say it.
Pomocy.
Pomocy.
He looks at you sort of confused and snarls, but then glances at your gun. And
Oh,
then
I don't have it out. It's still in the bag.
He glances where the gun is and
I
lets
slowly...
out that like weird roar.
Hey, he's bearing fangs at me. That's the equivalent of pointing a gun at me.
But you're infringing on his territory.
Do you speak English?
He starts talking in what you've heard Artemis speak, but it doesn't sound the same.
I remember 1 or 2 words. Uratha?
Okay, at that moment, the wolf in front of you goes to try to grab you to get the gun away from you.
I'm going to pop a celerity.
Okay.
And I will use that to do the bloop, scrolling. I'm going to use that to do a 20-foot skip to sort of behind him.
Okay. You're right behind him, or you're 20 feet behind him?
20 feet behind him to buy some room. So behind him, and like my hand is hovering up away, but with my quick draw, I could still like.
Okay. So
Peace.
he's like, he goes like this, and he's all like, and he turns around and looks at you and lets out that roar, like with his arms back and his face like forward.
Come on, hey.
The other one from behind goes to leap and jump at you.
Ah, shit.
So I need your strength plus brawl, please.
Ooh. That will be 3 plus 2, 5.
All right, so when he leaps and lunges, he does grab you. And now he's
hey.
struggling and hold. So you guys are like, Nux's turn. Nux pushes his hands down, and then claws like fly out of his fingers. And he goes up to the wolf that tried to grab you before and missed you. And he goes, come here, boy. I might have a treat for you.
Don't antagonize them!
Juliet is just like, Nux, please shut up. and he goes and tries to like when he turns around to look at him, Nux goes to swipe at his eyes. Uh, hold on, sorry. So he swipes and he does slash. He misses the eye, but goes like right around it, and the wolf like turns and then kind of like he doesn't roar, but he gets a like a weird smile and just turns and looks at Nux.
Oh no, he's enjoying it.
Your turn again. So you want to try
Okay,
to get out of the grapple?
I do, and my lack of familiarity with the setting is showing. So
I
let
think we
me.
just have to roll the brawl plus strength versus brawl plus strength, right? Because you're
Yes,
grappled, so now you got to try to get out of it.
I just want to see if I can use vigor.
I
Like if
think you
I
can.
spend a blood point. Do. Yes, but it's basically the same damn thing. Um, yeah, I never mind. It's not really gonna help that much. I'll use a point of willpower for an extra 3 dice.
I'm missing. Oh no, I'm not. Okay, so so for an extra 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are able to break free of the grapple.
All right. So I'm going to, instead of just breaking free of it, I'm going to use that success for a maneuver where like I've got the upper hand on it, and I'm going to use a free hand to quick draw my Uzi and just unload it in his stomach.
So you just get to do that, right, as an action because you broke the grapple.
Yeah, if I succeeded, then I can do my thing.
Okay,
I
but I
think.
still have to roll your firearms, right?
No, I mean I've worked. He.
Well, to get the damage.
Oh yes, hell with it. Yes.
So your dex plus firearms.
My dexterity. Boop boop boop. Scrolling everywhere. My dexterity is 3, and my firearms is 4. 9 again. I do not get my pistol or extended bonuses.
All right. So he takes. Yeah, he's taken 4 points of lethal.
Only lethal.
I mean, sorry, aggravated.
Ooh,
I'm
that'll piss
drawing
me off.
aggravated, but I said lethal.
Gotcha.
I meant aggravated. All right, so that was your turn. Now it is the werewolf's turn.
Hooray!
Okay, what is your strength plus brawl is 5, right?
That's right. I really need to put some specialization in grappling. I'm a vampire. It's what we
The
do.
wolf grabs your arm and he's got you. So he's trying he's able so he can take a disarm action, right? Because he grappled you and succeeded.
He has to use a maneuver if he got less than 5, but he still succeeded. Then he can do one maneuver, and in this case,
One
it would be
maneuver.
control weapon. So he can like grab
Okay.
my wrist and hold it
Okay,
away.
yeah. So he's holding it away.
Okay, but I'm not
Uh
disarmed unless he wins again, and then uses control weapon to toss
okay.
it.
Well, it's the other werewolf's turn, so.
Aha!
All right. So, the other werewolf looks at Nux, does the smile, then just turns and goes to you and he's holding your arm, same arm with the gun. He's got it.
Mm,
Now it's Nux's turn. Oh shit. All right. So does Nux's claws do aggravated or lethal? Just lethal to these guys, right?
pretty sure lethal.
Yeah, okay. So he goes for the other one that he had already slashed,
Hmm.
and he goes ahead and he digs his claws into his back. But he can't quite get him to move, but he does get his claws in him. And it's your turn again. Cuz Juliet is just trying to keep Rose out of the fight. And like she's kind of like standing at the ready to like jump in, but at the same time she knows Rose isn't meant for fighting. She doesn't want her to get hurt.
Okay, I'm like, call out some tips.
Well, get your control of your gun then.
Okay, I'm going to use my ectoplasmic. Uh, I'm going to make an entreaty to the local ghosts to help me out.
Okay.
Because whatever the fuck these are, they're not. If they're werewolves, they aren't right werewolves. So I'm going to spend a point of ectoplasm and try for.
So you don't
Um,
want to try to get out of the grapple?
I mean, I recognize I'm overpowered,
Okay.
so I'm just like, help.
Okay.
So I'm going to use, let's say, presence 3 and uh, persuasion 4, and spend a point of ectoplasm to speak to ghosts and just be and shout out in Polish. Pomocy!
Pomocy. So the ghost that helped you find this room comes out from the wall to so you've turned around and you're facing the door you came out of. So he's coming out of the wall from your left. You see a woman dressed in what looks like probably like, like the prison garb for World War II
Ooh,
comes out. And then you see a little boy come out from right next to the door that you came in. He's dressed in it's definitely pre 1900 clothing.
damn.
Okay.
Are they? What are
So
they doing?
so they all come out. Um the little boy goes and like so like while you're struggling with the wolves, he kind of like goes underneath behind the one wolf so that the one wolf starts to like trip and he lets go of you, but as he's letting go, his claws scratch your arm
Gah!
and he falls back. So that would be hang on. So take that's the claws. So you just take 3 points of bashing.
That is correct. And we went to the developers for that one,
Yeah.
but their bites do ag if these
Yeah.
are werewolves.
Yeah. So but it was his claws, so it's just
Yep.
bashing damage. So you just I mean that heals.
Ugh.
Um and you see that the guy who like helped you find it, he's trying to like pull the one werewolf and the girl is trying to push him to help him fall backwards over the little boy.
Awesome.
All
I'm
right.
just I'm
So
scrabbling back looking for the gun.
okay. So you still have the gun in your hand. They didn't knock it
Oh.
out.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yet. Not yet, but it's their turn.
Ooh.
Okay, so the one werewolf has fallen, so he needs to get up. I forget what we roll for to getting up.
Oh crap. If you're prone, do do do. Getting up from being prone takes your character's action.
Oh, okay, so he gets up, that's his action. So then the other one is going to try to take your gun away from you. He's got your hand with both of his and he's able to like grab the gun and fling it. And
Ugh.
it goes off back somewhere. You don't know where. Nux has still got his claws in this guy and he's all right, so Nux He has his claws, and he does pull him back, like pulls him back and kind of like throws him down to the ground. And at that moment, you hear a really loud, high-pitched whistle coming from the other door entrance into this room. And standing in that doorway is a man wearing a very expensive-looking three-piece suit. He has a cane in one hand with a wolf's head. He's holding a whistle up to his lips. He has long white hair, cheekbones for days, bright, shockingly blue eyes, and a chin that could just cut through anything.
He has a chisel for a face.
Yes, he takes the whistle and tucks it into his pocket. The wolves stop. They shift back into like small wolf form, and they walk over to him and sit right next to him. The ghosts, they're gone. They see who it is and they just leave.
That's not a good sign.
I apologize for my pets here. But you see, sometimes they don't like it when their territory is invaded.
We tried to explain we didn't know it was their territory.
Well, maybe they were just looking for a fight then. He looks at them and they kind of like shrink. Allow me to introduce myself. He steps forward. My name is Alexei Snicht. He holds out his hand to you.
I pull my... Oh, go ahead.
Juliet Ghost has not stopped protecting Rose. And Nux is just kind of like,
light one up.
Yep, lighting one up, looking to see if he's got any wounds that need attending to.
I lean down and pick up the Uzi in my offhand, and with my hand that's been holding the wound, slick with blood, shake his. Does he flinch whatsoever?
No, he just smirks at you. Did you say your name?
William.
Do you have a last name, William? Or are you like Cher?
You lose it over time. I've had many.
Really, you don't seem that old to me.
I take it you're in the know?
I believe I know who you are.
Then do you mind if we get about our business and we'll be on our way?
Should you find yourself in need of a friend or looking for some information, he holds out a business card. It just has a phone number on it.
Bear that in mind.
Well, we'll leave you to it then. He turns around and walks back down the way he came. The wolves follow. One of them does look back at you. But
Probably the one I filled with silver.
Yeah, but Alexei kind of just goes like does it like I can't do it, but a high pitch. Yeah, and he turns and continues walking. Once they're definitely gone, that's when Juliet finally lets Rose away from the wall, and Rose kind of like pushes her arm down in a way.
Okay, then.
Alright, so I guess we start looking.
Quickly, too.
All right.
Spend vitae
So
to cover my wounds.
okay. Uh, Nux didn't get any wounds. That's right, because you had the silver, so they were
Yeah.
looking at you. Okay, so I need wits plus investigation.
That
Or
makes sense to me.
yeah.
All right. Wits is 4. Investigation is 3 with 9 again.
Okay, I'm not gonna even roll for everybody else because you got like 8 successes. All right, so um Juliet suggests that why don't we each take like a quadrant of the room. Juliet looks by the quadrant that has the door you came in. She has Rose looking in the quadrant next to her. Nux takes the one that has the other door, and you've got the last quadrant. While you're looking at the back wall, the wall from where the wolves came out, you see in one of the stones a symbol that it's faded, but it's a pentagram with like a swastika emblazoned in the middle, and when you look at it, it glows a little bit. But if you're looking at it with just regular sight, it's so faded that you might even miss it.
But it's that little bit of ectoplasm or something.
It's like the vampire sight lets you see.
Oh.
And you do actually see a little bit of ectoplasm too.
Mm.
And if you want to check in another site, you
Switch
could
to
see
spirit.
it. Yeah, it looks different in the spirit site too.
Ugh. Push it.
Okay. As you push it, the wall shifts back a little bit and then slides. And there's no light in there, but it doesn't matter for you. It's very small. It's like a little closet. Um, it's damp in here though, really damp, and you can smell burnt paper.
Shit.
But so it's really small. It's like maybe a 5 by 5 room. There is like a cabinet. And there's like a little desk with a chair and some papers sprawled on it. There's papers all over the floor. The cabinet drawers have all been like pulled open, and they're pretty empty. But you do find, while sifting through it, you find a file labeled the Rice Project.
Flip it open.
Um, However, the notes are a mixture of German and, from what you can tell, Latin. It's written almost in code.
Well, you picked the 2 languages I speak other than English.
That's why I picked them. I wanted to make it easy for you.
Oh, stands to reason.
But it is written in code, so it will take you time to crack that code. Um, Once you've gone in there, Nux, Rose, and Juliet join you, and Rose picks up some pictures on the floor, and she's staring at them. Nux picks up a folder, and he says, "Well, isn't this interesting?" And the folder is labeled Project Geister Experiment. And another folder that he looks up is called Operation Reiner Wolf. Um, Both written in code, but not German and Latin this time. Sorry.
Hmm.
So you can tell sort of, from one thing from the notes you can tell about the train is that it did exist and it never reached its destination. Um, when you look over at Rose, you can see she's sort of shaking.
You okay?
There's a picture of Rose when she was human, sitting on a bench talking to Callie in New Orleans. And if you look at the other things she's looking at, you see a picture of Nux from when he was in the military and human. You see a picture of Juliet, what looks like when she was captured. And you see a picture of you studying in Chicago. And that's where we're going to leave that.
Fucking knew it. Damn. If you hadn't cliffhangered, I was gonna spirits touch the area and let that be some kind of cliffhanger. Oh shit.
Oh no, I had a good one for you.
Gotta wait a goddamn month for the next part of this.
Yes, you do.
Damn everything. Okay, well, damn. uh nice. Um okay, so yeah,
Okay.
this has been Tooth and Claw, the Requiem of William Ravelowe, Prophecy and Sacrifice, episode
Episode
4.
4.
Um, we would like to thank the folks who make this possible, as we don't have a Patreon at this time. That doesn't include any of you. But we definitely have to thank Erica. Your technical expertise and ongoing badassery makes this entire thing possible. We want to thank our organizers and our artists, Ashley.
Sarah Turkowski, who did the TNC logo. My best friend and Kevin's girlfriend, Lindsay K, for putting everything together in the background, and Heidi, I can never remember her last name.
Froland, right?
I think maybe she did the characters that you see on either side of the screen, Artemis and William. So
I'm
thank you to our fine artists. And
just
thank you to you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope that this cliffhanger was enough to have you come back in 4 weeks.
and thank you for continuously running me such an excellent damn game. I'm trying to keep up with you every couple of weeks when we switch off, which
Oh, please.
you should
Yes.
remember the next episode of
Tooth and
Artemis's
Claw.
Tale, Tooth
Yeah,
and
for
Claw.
yeah, for Artemis's Tale, it will be in 2 weeks. So that is in the information at the bottom that you can check that out. But let me just scroll down real quick and take a look at that. If
Same place,
my
same time in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yep. So that will be August 2nd.
Hmm.
Same time,
Uh,
same place. You'll be watching Artemis's story. You can catch up on episodes and you can watch clips that we've started doing on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That is also down below under the more info section. And this Tuesday, watch a Tooth and Claw Realities Twitch production of Jerry at Twitch this Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tooth and Claw Realities, their channel.
I thought it was third shift reality.
Well, no, the Twitch stuff is Tooth and Claw Realities.
You're right. We're mixing our streams. I'm so behind.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Third Shift Realities is our overall company, but the Twitch sector of it is called Tooth and Claw Realities.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, so
All right. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and see you in 2 weeks or on Tuesday.
stay safe out there.